So for the curls, we're going to make the letter S. I want to make letters. I want to make these squiggly lines. It's like the letter S, and then you continue on down with the letter S, and then you do another one behind it, and then you fill in the shaded part. So the part that's sticking out will stay light. Okay, so as you're coming up to the light part, then you come down and shade, come up to the light part, come down and shade, up to the light part, down and shade, and down and shade. So this is a good start. You got a lot more in between. So you can do a backward C and a forward C. Is also easy. So let's just say we do a backward C and a forward C and a backward C and a forward C. So you can do it that way too. Whatever. Just trying to give you some idea of how we can get these. Oh, look at the letter 3. The letter 3. That's okay. So you do. You can make your squiggly line coming down like this. Meet up with that one if you like. Alright, so all I'm doing right now is just making these squiggly lines and doubling them up, and then I'm shading the darkest part. Okay, so the ones that are sticking out, let's go with a bigger one up here so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm just going with my squiggly line, and then I'm going behind it, just filling it in. And then I'm just going to shade this, the outer part, and then you're coming down to the darker part. That's the outer part, and that's the shadow part. Top part that's sticking out would catch the light, and then the bottom part would be in shadow. So it's just to get it started, because we got a lot of work to do. This here is very, very curly, but it's nice to know how to draw curly hair. There are different ways you can do this. Another way you can do it is, I'll show you now in a second. So let's see if we get that here, and then we can work on facial features and cleaning up. So do our squiggly lines over and over and over, just like S's. And then go around them again. Let's see if we can get the shadows in there. Okay? And then you shadow the bottom, leave the top. Shadow the bottom and leave the top. Shadow the bottom and leave the top. Leave the top. Have the fill in parts also. Get those darks. And because it's pretty frizzy everywhere, you could just put these lines in and use them for a guide. Like that. Because there's only so many of them standing out. The rest is basically frizzy. And then you can with some highlights. So just fill in some shadows here. It's not as important as it was out in front. So in this case, I'm going to make some short, quick strokes. Using those lines to help guide me. I'm just going to make short, quick strokes like this. Kind of like little C's. I'm still using those squiggly lines I made as a guide. This one's sticking out here. You make your squiggly line like that, up and down and around. Just follow the shape of the hair. Now, as you can see, I've been working on her hair, and that hair is very, very difficult. And as you can see, I did 3 or 4 steps to try to get to this point even. You know, you might say, well, why didn't you just do the curlies and just fill it in and all this stuff? But you have to get the shape of which way everything goes. And there probably is a shortcut. Maybe you could just do curly hair like this, you know, and then fill it in. But I had to do it that way. That's the way I like to do it. I just made my curls first. And then you can also do it this way, but that's different. See how it curls? See all those curls, like this lines that I made? Circle, 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 circle. Right? But they're all separated and they're all over the place, and they're right here like this here. We got to try to create that somehow. That's not the easiest hair in the world to do, and you know, you can take shortcuts. It don't have to be exactly the same as the picture, but it'd be nice to get as close as you can, because the more you work on that and try to do it, the more you'll learn, and the more you'll have. That's like exercise. You'll get better. It's like playing, like I always say, playing the piano. You know, the more you play around with the piano and your fingers move, everything just comes naturally. So, you know, so then you could do lots of pictures with curly hair like this, right? And then you can have different shapes and different lengths, and it'll come easier to you. So, I mean, right now, even I'm trying to figure things out more. So you got a squiggly line, and you can make another one just to give it that shape. Because you can see those squiggly lines there, look. They're either, you can either do it that way or this way. And then you double it up. And then you can pick out the shadow part. So say this is the shadow part here. Maybe a little bit here. And the high up part is the light part. This is shadow. It comes down around here. Shadow comes up. The light is up there. It's coming down into the shadow. It's coming up again into the light. Okay, I messed that up there. And then here. So we mess anything up, don't be afraid to get rid of it. So I don't know why that would be there. So you know what I mean? Like, you got to go and experiment almost. That's what it's like. It's like you got to experiment with things, see how it works out. So as you can see here, this curl here, you can work on it this way. So that's the shadow down here. It's coming back up. That is underneath. That's is that over that one? There, and then the shadow comes around. It starts to get shadowy down here. So see how that looks like a curl there now? That would be shadowy here like that, and that would come underneath it. Okay, there we go. There, yes, they're coming over that, over, right. See? So that came out a nice little curl, didn't it? But then you got all this open space in here, which is shadows in between those curls. This one here, here's the shadow here. Comes down around here. Then it's getting lighter up here because it's hitting the light up here. And then it's starting to go back into the shadow again, right? And then it's going back up into the light again and then back down into the shadow. See, look at that. See? So these are different ways you can also do your curls. And if you do this, this, and then you take your, if you want to, an eraser that's comfortable for you, and then you highlight those areas. Just look, see that? And you might say, well, why didn't you just put it all dark and then highlight it again? I think you have to take steps. In my mind, you have to take steps to perfect it. Like this part here. You can get darken that part there. See? If you darken that part there, and then you add a little shadow, makes it look like it's lifted off the, right? gives it more of a 3D look, see? You make it darker underneath the hair. Could be a ribbon, could be, you know, because ribbons can be about the same shape, right? And then as you come out, then you come out lighter and lighter and lighter. See, it gives it kind of like it's lifted off the table. See that? So, you know, you have to go through all these steps in order to make you a better artist, all right? You know, don't try to do things too quickly. You could easily do all kinds of stuff and just do it and then, well, I don't know. But to me, then you end up getting scribbles and stuff like that. So, but if you take your time and you figure things out, then it gives you a better eye for things, because now you have to find the shadows and shading and where it looks better. Do you want it darker in here? You know, you make adjustments. So the more I played around with this, it looked a bit better. Hey, right? Now that's what I'm doing with the hair. I'm kind of trying to get some sense of what way I want it, what way I want it. I'm trying to go by that, but it's almost impossible, right, to create a photograph onto paper. Some people can do it. Maybe I need to sit here for weeks and weeks on end and figure it out. But I want to get this done as quick as possible, but yet take my time. If that makes any sense. But yes, take your time, learn. What's the rush? Unless you are in a rush, you know, maybe you took on a commissioned art and you said, I'll have it done for you in a couple of days, and then you're rushing and then you can't get it done the way you'd like to, and you see all kinds of mistakes and you see all the things that you could have fixed. So don't promise anything too early. If you're going to do commissioned art, tell them it could take a couple of weeks, which is true, and then if you get it done in a couple of days, even better, you know. So I'm just going to see how nice and light these are here. So what you can do is not bring in as much shadow, but you still need the shadow. See all the shadows? Oh, see all the shadows in between the hair? I'm talking away, not even showing to you. So see the light parts here? Where are we? Right, see all that light there? So now up here you would need more shadows in between, right? And you leave some sticking out. Over here you got all these light ones, so you wouldn't need as much shadow underneath. So just work around those curls that we did, but leave more of the curls showing. So I'm just going to put some shadow in here, just say, and then I'm going to put some shadow here, but I'm leaving that nice and light there so that I can get that curl to stick out more. And when you do your shadows, you need to bring it up around the curl and not just a straight line like that. You need to go with the shape of the curl too, okay? Bring it up into the curl. That's why I'm making these little circles. See? I'm trying to find where I think the shadows will be. I'm trying to separate the curls. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm working on, I'm not just randomly saying, oh, I'll put a shadow here, I'll put a shadow there. I'm actually trying to figure out where the curls are, where they're going to be, what kind of shapes they are. And I'm looking at the reference photo, trying to figure all that out too, right? So as you can see, it's starting to come together. See, it's starting to come together, and when I do some highlights on those, that'll look like a really nice head of hair, okay? And I got some you know, this stuff down here I want to do, but the main thing with this picture is the hair. Making little tiny circles like this. And when you get one line done, you move away, move to the other side of it. See how they see that? Isn't that cool? Just little tiny circles make some really nice curly hair. Okay, just little tiny circles because it's kind of, you know, really tiny at the ends there. Some here that's sticking out, just put a line here like that, and then another one, skip over that one, and then skip over that one, and gives you the illusion of here. Little flyaway here gives a little illusion. You could even make a spiral like that, and then you can darken up those dark parts I was telling you about. Leave the other parts light. See? So you can do a spiral or a flyaway here, and then you can leave it thin like that, and then you can darken up the areas like I showed you before, that's light and dark, right? That'll give you these little flyaway hairs. Look, you can do little ones. And then you can dark parts underneath here, and then you go like that, see? See, that's flyaway hairs. Even if you did just a little one here like this, you could do the dark. And you can also do a spiral, and then you can do another spiral if it's a bigger hair, and then like we did before, dark parts. That will give you a nice flyaway hair. And if you miss it, that gives, see? It's all to do with the shading, shape. Little circles, big circles, spirals. You know, this is a complicated hairdo, but just so beautiful. You'd like to do more, you know, tight curly hair, and it's such a gorgeous style of hair that you'd want to learn how to do more of them for sure. So starting to come along. Make a couple spirals coming down here and here. And then I can darken up those areas. Then you got these cute little hairs in there. See? And another thing I want to mention to you is whenever you got something touching off of something, like that area is touching off her neck, so you take a dark line, and then you take that line and you move away from it with a much lighter touch. Okay, so you got the dark line here, and then you move away with a much lighter touch, and that makes the earring look like you can tell that it's touching off. Okay, so now it's touching off her arm here, so you darken the line and then you move away, but with a lighter shade. Okay, and that gives it that effect that it's sitting on her neck there. So her hair is coming along nicely, I think. This up here I probably could have did a bit later. I was in the early stages when I was doing this, so I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And that happens sometimes. So I made it a bit too dark, but I'm going to use my eraser now to see if I can highlight some of this. So, get some of these dark shadows in here, and I want, look around at your hair, at your reference photo. And if anybody wants this reference photo, just let me know. I'll be attaching it to the post, or I'll have it in my blog. I'll get it to you. So you can do some touch-ups, get it a bit darker. Touch it up, so you can get it the way you want it. Right. So, looks pretty good, doesn't it? I think it looks pretty good. So we want to leave some nice lightness going on, but then there's some parts here that are a little shaded. So we want to get some of that going on there. So we still leave out the light stuff. So we just want to go over some of the parts that you want to smooth out shading. It's a bit of work. I can't think of any other way to make it easy for you. I tried. But if you want to get the hair nice, you want to do a good job with it, you want to impress your friends and your customers and whoever you're doing it for, even if you're just doing it for yourself, you want to impress yourself too, don't forget. In order to enjoy what you're doing, you have to impress yourself. Some people say, I'm not worried about it. I don't have to impress anybody. You do. You have to impress yourself. Yes, you do. Impress yourself. That's the most important person in your life, is yourself. Once you impress yourself, then you're going to go out and show it off to everybody else. That's the way life is. It's fun. It's fun. So smooth out those lines that you just did in between, okay? Try not to lose too much of the lighter parts that you got. That's all I'm doing right now. So this is an eraser. This looks like a pen. Let's see if this will help me get some of this. Now when you're erasing it, you don't just go up and down. You still want to keep those lines that you had there, right? That you made with those squiggly lines. So that's why it's important to do those squiggly lines and those spirals. See that? See that? Alright, so highlight some of the areas that you see in your reference photo where it's highlighted, okay? Make sure you don't lose your squiggly lines. And some of the lines that you want to show up a little bit more, right? You might have lost them in your, okay, so you just go in and pull out the ones that you want. You can if you can get a good enough eraser, you can put in more squiggly lines. Just watch. See that? Use those same lines that we used earlier with the pen. So, right, round and round. See how I'm getting some nice lines there with the eraser? to take a bit of sandpaper, and if your eraser gets dirty, you can take the sandpaper and clean it off. Because you're going to want sandpaper anyway for, you know, adjusting your pen. See how nice and clean that is now? So, you know, you can also, anything that you want to clean up, just use sandpaper to clean up your blending stump. See, that makes it better. You can also use sandpaper to, this is a charcoal pencil. Put charcoal on your sandpaper, and then you can put it there, and then you can use that charcoal for shadows and shading. You can also sharpen your pencil with it to get a really nice top. It'll also give you some graphite if you want to use that for a nice sharp top, right? And so you just see it, all the graphite and charcoal comes off. You can put that on your paper, and then you can use that for shadowing and shading if you wanted to, right? You can even use your blending stump to put into that extra graphite, and then use that for putting more shadows in your drawings. See, I got lots of tips for you. As soon as I think of something, I'll tell you. That's why when you're watching my videos, you don't know what's going to come next, because I don't know. I don't have it planned. I really like this eraser. I got it in my Amazon shop. I think I got one there. I'll check and make sure for you, okay? And so I'm going to see if I can get some more spirals. So I'm going to spiral around here. Here. Down here is kind of not much going on there, because I don't want to take out all the shadowing put in, but you can see that I'm getting some nice little spirals there. Spiral. Same thing I did up here, okay? This is the same thing, the same spiral. I'm doing this with my eraser. Or you can do that too. But that's what I'm doing with my eraser, to get a spiral. I'm pushing pretty hard. A lot of steps to this one. You can do that too. You know, go back and forth like that if you want. I find this one looks better, I think. I'm not sure. Whatever works for you, okay? Because I'm kind of in between both of them. All kinds of spirals going on in my hair. I think we're almost done here now with the hair. I'm sure you can play around with it as much as you want, but once you learn to do these spirals and this curly hair, and you do it your way, because I might have been showing you my way, but you might be able to find something better. But you do need these tools. You need a good eraser to be able to do this, right? But look at those nice spirals. They're cool. Isn't that cool? I really like it. I think it came out pretty nice, actually. It's not exactly the same as the picture, but it's not bad, is it? It's not bad, is it? I think I'll leave that because I think it's nice. I think that came out really nice. There's a lot of work to it, but it was worth it. But I think the hair came out really nice, even though it was a bit of work to it. But I really think the hair came out nice. So I I hope that, you know, this helps you so that you can draw curly hair. You know, really tight curly hair, and you can do it long or short. And you get all these little flyaway hairs coming off the hair, and so I showed you how to do all that. And you know, so just practice these little hairs, practice these, and it'll help you get this. It'll help you, and go through all those steps. If you can find an easier way or a quicker way, you certainly go ahead, but that's something I thought I would try to show you. So I hope you enjoyed that today, and if you found it helpful, let me know in the comment section, because it's nice to know if it is helpful or if I can improve in some other way to help you even better. So you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.